Oh, hi there, shipmates. Johnny Ray back again with another installment on my series on marlinspike seamanship. Due to popular request, I'm dedicating this particular video to stopper knots. Now, some of you may wonder what a stopper knot is. Well, a stopper knot is used to, when you're passing a line through a block or an eye or something similar, it keeps the line from when you tug on it, to keep it from going willy-nilly right through the block and possibly injuring or killing somebody. What it's used for is to keep that from happening. Now, the simplest form of stopper knot is an ordinary overhand knot, tied just like that. This particular knot is one that I myself wouldn't recommend to use as a stopper knot for a couple of reasons. It will work fine when the line fits the block, as you can see. It's not too bad in this combination of line and block. This is a 3/8 inch line and a 3-inch block, or a 3/8 inch block. It fits properly. But if you're using it on line that is worn or too thin for the block, it has been known to pull right through. Or it can, in certain types of line, it has been known to migrate off the end of the line, especially if the line is wet. So this is one that I would not recommend to use as a stopper knot. Next up, we have a very popular stopper knot. It's religiously used by the climbing fraternity. It is the figure-8 knot. And this knot is mildly better than an overhand knot, and it'll stop reasonably well. But again, this knot, if you look at it carefully, it's really not any larger in mass than the overhand knot. It's just longer, which really doesn't achieve anything other than it allows it to be untied slightly easier. An improvement on this is a very popular knot with sailors. It starts off just like a figure-8. Instead of tucking the line through here, you pass it a half turn around farther and tuck it up underneath like that. And here you have the stevedores knot. This is one of my all-time favorites. This is the knot that I use myself on my main sheet on my sailboat. For a line that fits the block properly, you can't get a better stopper knot. It's just very solid, and it's bulkier than a figure-8 or a double overhand. Very good knot. Reasonably easy to untie, although in certain types of conditions and lines it can be a little bit tricky. You may need a marlinspike to get it off. And if that's not large enough for you, you can try this knot. This knot is called a double overhand knot. So it starts like a regular overhand knot, and you tuck it through a second time. What you do, careful as you capsize it into the knot to dress it properly. You know that you've tied this knot properly when you have an X on one side and an equal sign on the other. So remember, times equals. This particular knot is very well suited for knotting climbing ropes. Gives a nice handhold because the tail both of them come out the center of the knot, so it gives a really nice grip to grip with your hands. Excellent knot for this. And for a line that's a little worn or slightly small for the diameter of the block, it is fantastic stopper knot. Absolutely beautiful. Looks real shipshape and seaman-like. One of my all-time favorites, and it can be opened just by capsizing between the lines on the back. Excellent knot. One of my all-time favorites. Beautiful knot. Not enough good I can say about that one. And finally, if you're dealing with a line that is very loose in the block, you need to bulk up the line even more, and for that I would use this one. This is, you make a bite, you pass it over top like this, you take this saw here and tuck it through, pull it reasonably snug, and you take your tail around behind like this, and you pull it solid. This is called an oysterman's or Ashley stopper knot, and it is the largest, bulkiest knot you can put on the end of the line that is easy to tie. As you can see, it really bulks up the end of the line. So for a line that is loose in the block, this is top of the line, this one. You see, that is not going anywhere. The only downside of this one is it locks up pretty solid. So generally you need the aid of a good marlin spike to get this one off. It's what I would call a semi-permanent knot. There you go. And to recap, I would say that your best bet, if the line fits the block, a stevedore's knot cannot be beat. This is the knot that I use myself for this. If the knot is slightly loose in the block, double overhand knot is the excellent way to solve this problem. And if it's very loose in the block, an oysterman's or Ashley stopper knot is ideal. Now, if your line still passes through the block, you shouldn't be using that line in the block. It's just way too sloppy a fit. You're going to kill somebody. So, without further ado, I wish you calm seas, a pleasant voyage, and a mermaid in every port.